I brought my girlfriend's favorite ice cream to surprise her, but instead of a romantic evening, I caught her cheating on me. She had the nerve to yell at me instead of apologizing. After years of being inseparable, I discovered she was hiding something, which turned out to be a full-blown betrayal I never expected. I've been dating Melissa, 36 female, for about 2 years, and she really was my whole world. It always felt like we were perfectly in sync, two peas in a pod. We always planned our weekends well in advance because we both loved to travel, so having these plans set was more important than it might seem. I'd carefully arrange everything for our outings, and she seemed to love that about us. But a few months ago, out of nowhere, Melissa canceled one of our weekend trips. It completely threw me. She decided instead to go to a party with her friends. That was fine, stuff happens. I told her to have a great time and that I'd come pick her up whenever she needed. I figured she'd message me by the end of the night for a ride home. But late that night, instead of her usual come get me, I got a text that she was staying over at her friend's place instead. Okay, that was a little unusual, but I said to get some rest and enjoy the evening. The next week, when we met up again after what felt like too long, something was definitely off. I could just sense it. During dinner, she couldn't make eye contact with me. I asked if she was feeling sick or if there was something she wanted to talk about, but she said no, she just wanted to go home. Honestly, it was obvious something was really bugging her, but there was no way she was letting me in on whatever it was. Then, over the next several weeks, even more of our plans mysteriously got canceled. Instead, Melissa started going out with her friends for drinks a lot. When I tried inviting myself along to tag along on one of these nights, she shot me down fast, saying I'd just be bored. She told me to go find something else to do with my time. This was getting suspicious. It was happening almost every time lately. My instincts were screaming at me by now. I honestly don't know how to better describe it. Like the next level of spidey sense tingling. It happened again about a week later with our Saturday plans. Melissa bailed once more, telling me she'd be at the farmer's market with her drinking buddy. She threw me a bone and said maybe we could hang out later that night. That just didn't sit right with me. It takes only 10 minutes to drive to the market, so I decided to do a little covert recon and see for myself what was going on. I didn't tell her I was coming. When I got there, I looked everywhere but couldn't find her. I texted, "Hey, I happen to be at the market too. Where are you?" Instantly, she started blowing up my phone with messages. Where did I park? Which direction did I come from? Which store was I near? I told her, and then 10 minutes later, she appeared in front of me. She was wearing perfume, which she never does. I asked where her friends were, saying it would be nice to say hi, but she quickly told me they'd all just left for lunch. Something about the way she said it just didn't sit right with me. So here's my question, Reddit, how do I actually figure out what's happening here? What do I even ask her? Am I reading into things too much, or is there really something going on? Update 1. First off, thank you for all the advice you gave me. Some thoughts really hit home, and honestly, just writing all this out is kind of therapeutic. This all played out a few days ago, but it's taken time for everything to sink in. Plenty of you told me I should just confront Alyssa directly and ask her what the hell is going on. So, after my calls and messages were ignored for a while, she finally picked up the phone. She apologized, claimed her phone died, and she hadn't realized till it was too late. I didn't even wait. I jumped straight in and told her that her message the other day, just not feeling it between us, had hurt me. She explained she was just stressed and taking it out on me. Okay, stress happens, I get it. But then I said, your friend told me you're seeing someone else. Are you? Do you want to break up? She absolutely freaked. What? Who said that? Oh my God, who said that? I'm so sick of these rumors. Who's spreading this? She went on and on, way more concerned about who'd ratted her out than the actual accusation. She insisted she didn't want to break up, and then flipped it to make me feel guilty for even thinking that. Didn't I know how she felt about me? I started feeling like the worst boyfriend ever. She pressed me over and over to give up which friend had talked, but I didn't budge. Finally, she said she was just having a stressful night and wanted to relax. Maybe we could talk on the weekend instead. After that conversation, I was left feeling completely conflicted. Part of me felt like I just wronged the woman I love, while the other part believed she was up to something. I was genuinely miserable and thinking I'd caused this huge rift in our relationship. A few hours later, I decided to make up for it. I love Melissa to bits, so I hopped in the car and drove the hour to her city, stopping along the way to pick up her favorite chocolate ice cream. I thought it was the least I could do. At the ice cream shop, I ran into Melissa's daughter, Taylor, 19F, who was there with her boyfriend. They both go to college and had dropped in for a treat after their night classes. Taylor said she'd be staying over at her boyfriend's but forgot a workbook and needed to grab it from her mom's house. After a bit of small talk, her boyfriend left, and Taylor and I headed to Melissa's place together. I parked on the street since Melissa's building has assigned parking. Taylor actually parked behind me instead of in her usual spot. As we walked toward the door, I joked, "Did the neighbor steal your spot again?" She shook her head, really dry. "No, that's not my neighbor's car." The way she said it and the sigh right after just made my heart drop. Somehow I knew what we'd find, but I prayed I was wrong. We stepped inside and stopped dead in the hallway. We could just hear them. You know the sound, very familiar, unmistakable, rhythmic thumping, moans, the whole package of pleasure. Melissa's bedroom was right across from us. Taylor's eyes went wide as dinner plates. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," she whispered. I felt like I was standing outside my body, just watching the scene unfold, no idea what to do. Here I was, standing awkwardly with a quart of chocolate ice cream, while my girlfriend was obviously having sex with someone in her bedroom. Suddenly, Taylor just screamed, "Mom, what the F?" It sounded part banshee, part fire truck. Melissa ran out from the bedroom, stark naked. Maybe because she thought there was an emergency. Her motherly instinct must have kicked in, at least. She started to say something, but fell silent as soon as she saw us both standing there. It was just silence for a moment before she started repeating, "Oh my God, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing?" Over and over until she ran back into the bedroom. I just stood there, totally numb, still in shock. No idea how much time passed. She eventually emerged in pajamas and started talking through the bedroom door to whomever was inside. Then the yelling started. Melissa, or I guess now my ex, started shouting at both me and Taylor, demanding to know why we were in the house. Then the entire situation seemed to finally get to her. She started to sob and say stuff I couldn't even understand. Taylor started yelling back, "How could you do this? You did it again." By then, I couldn't look at Melissa anymore. My whole body was numb. My ears were ringing from the chaos. I walked into the kitchen, put the ice cream down on the table, and said, "Well, I know you get hungry after sex, so here's some ice cream." Then I left. She started crying and trying to say something, but I just kept walking. Drove home in complete silence. That was a couple days back. I didn't show up to work the next day. My phone has been blowing up ever since, but I haven't responded. Just for fun, here are some of the messages she sent me. "If we had spent more time together, this wouldn't have happened. It meant nothing. You know I love you. If you care about us, you'll talk to me. Why are you ignoring me? Please, 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 if you cared, we could work this out." And on it goes. Right now, I just feel empty. I don't get how or why any of this happened. I really did my best for Melissa and her family, especially in hard times. I made sure things were good for us. I know it's not logical, but part of me can't help feeling like none of it mattered, or that I'm not enough to make someone happy. I know I'll get over it eventually, but it hurts, especially when I know we were once so good together. I do have 1,000 questions still, but I'm forcing myself not to reach out. I have to move on. Looking back, I kind of wish I'd kept the ice cream. This story ends right here. This story highlights just how far someone might go to hide their betrayal, and how shocking it can be when all the signs finally lead to an undeniable truth. It's a tough reminder that trust is delicate, and sometimes you only see things clearly when it's too late. I've got a question for you. Would you have confronted Melissa sooner, or tried to catch her in the act like OP did? Share your thoughts and let me know what you'd have done.